franchise Shane Douglas, and you watching Pounding the Meat.
Welcome to Pounding. Ahmed, how are you, my friend? Welcome to Pounding the Meat podcast. How are you?
I'm doing great, Vinny. How about you?
I'm doing good, man. And it's so crazy. The voice is the same. It is Ahmed Johnson. He's here. Very excited to have you, man. Thanks for being with us. Thank you for being giving of your time and willing to hang out on this podcast. How has everything been going for you? I noticed, first of all, congratulations. You have lost a ton of weight, my friend. You look incredible.
Yeah, lost 115 pounds, brother.
115 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
And I asked you, how are you doing it? What is the secret? I asked if you went vegan. You know, are you only shopping at Whole Foods? What is the secret? What are you doing?
No, just dieting, man, and hitting the weight room. That's about it.
That's it. Good for you, brother. Good for you. Congratulations. Keep it going, my man.
Thank you.
Going. And also, let's give a shout out to your kids. Ahmed, they are watching live right now. Shout out to Ahmed's children. Go ahead, my friend.
Yeah. Zachary, Marvin, and Tony Jr.
Woo!
And my daughters Amanda and Nina.
There we go. They're watching the show. And this is interesting. Before we get started, Ahmed, this is pretty cool. I noticed. Now, listen, since WWE hasn't really dropped a figure of you lately, a company has decided to do it on their own, right? Check this out. Grapplers and Gimmicks. It's like a Hasbro with the Powerhouse Plunge. There it is, the Ahmed Johnson or the Tony Norris figure. Got to be careful to copyright. Tony Norris.
Oh, yeah.
You can pre-order that on, I think it's WrestlingFiguresNews.com. I just typed in Tony Norris, Grapplers and Gimmicks action figure. It is there, and it looks really, really good. They did a great job. Let's see. Let's say hi to the people real quick. We have IVT. What is going on? Heavy T. Steven, how are you? Heavy T says, so glad I'm not missing this. I'm glad you're here, brother. Jay Ross says, Pearl River. And Nico says, good evening. Everyone, welcome to the show. I wanted to start with your childhood, Ahmed.
Okay.
Go over that with me because I don't think everyone knows about that and really the struggles of growing up the way you did. I would like you to go into that a little bit for me. Go ahead.
Well, growing up, I grew up very, very rough. I was abused by my father. Had a real rough life, man, growing up. I left home when I was I'd say about 13, 14, and kind of got out there on my own. And what people don't know about me is I went to Haines City, Florida, where I worked at Circus World, where I helped train lions and tigers, man, at Circus World in Haines City, Florida, with Dave McMillan.
Okay.
But the tiger, the guy that did the show was named Dave McMillan.
Yeah.
And I trained lions and tigers, man, in Haines City, Florida, and that kind of got me through life.
Look at you. Shout out to Haines City. That's 20 minutes from me.
Yep.
We were just talking about that. I'm in Polk County, Central Florida. That is literally 10 minutes. And you trained lions and tigers.
Yeah, at Haines City, Florida, man.
Oh, that's incredible, man.
Yeah, but I'm from right there where you're at, baby. I'm from Lake Alfred, Florida.
There he is. He's right there. I mean, I could throw a rock and hit Lake Alfred, man. That's great. And we have, let's see, we have Drew. Good evening, PTM, and Ahmed. What's up, Drew? So your dad was abusive, right?
Yeah, he was. But I forgave him for it, and we had a conversation a few months ago.
Oh, interesting. How'd that go?
It went good, man. Went real good.
Uh-huh.
Better than I expected.
Are you maybe is it looking like the future might be better for you guys? Maybe some sort of relationship can happen, or is it not there yet?
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna have a relationship.
All right.
And get together. I've chosen to forgive him, and that's one of the best things you can do, man, is forgive somebody.
That's right. Not only for them, but for yourself. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
It allows you to shed that weight. You know what I'm saying? Figuratively speaking, it really does help you move on from trauma. And so was that why you actually went into the Army? Maybe to get away from that?
Well, yeah, I kind of went to the Army because, it was kind of a different spot for me,
Yeah.
I hadn't planned on going to the Army growing up, but, once I got with the recruiter and everything, I kind of went right into it.
Okay. And in the Army, not a lot of people don't know this about you. Okay. You graduated you were a most distinguished honored graduate in
sir.
Fort Seal, Oklahoma. That's
sir.
really good.
Graduated top of the class, man. And
top of the class.
Still got the records there that haven't been broken.
Look at you, bro. Top of the class in the Army. There is no way I would even come close to that, man. There is absolutely no way. Congratulations on that.
It was rough. It was rough.
I'm sure it was. Now, did you ever get into any wrestling fights there? Is that kind of what made you want to go into wrestling? Were you in wrestling in the Army or anything like that?
No, I kind of roughed some people up in the Army, but no, I wasn't into professional wrestling then.
We got the Grease commenting, Ahmed, great to see you looking healthy.
Thank you.
And get it in your super chats. If you want to ask Ahmed questions, we're going to be saving the super chats for later in the show, and we will be asking your questions to Mr. Ahmed. So what got you into the way you say it, wrestling?
Well, the reason I got into it was Stevie Ray from Harlem Heat.
Yes.
Ivan Putski opened up a school here in Houston, and Stevie wanted to go to the school, and back then we were like brothers, man. We was partners.
Mm-hmm.
And so Stevie wanted to go, so I decided to follow him and go with him. And Ivan Putski trained us, and that's how we got started in professional wrestling.
There it is. So you just decided, did he call you or what happened there? Were you guys talking about it for a while?
Well, no, Stevie always been into wrestling, man. I mean, he was wrestling encyclopedia.
Yeah.
And once Ivan opened up the school, we worked out together all the time, me and Stevie did. And once Ivan opened the school, we decided, hey, to go give it a shot and see what comes out of it.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? I'm glad he did, because look what happened.
Oh, yeah.
You know look what happened.
Yeah, he got me and Booker T started in it.
All together, right?
Right.
Well, what happened was, so from there, from the school, you went to Global Wrestling Federation, right?
Right.
Okay, and you were Mo Deep.
Mo Deep and being terror.
Look at that. You are huge from the beginning.
Oh, yeah. I was big.
Man. There you are now. How was this experience for you, Ahmed?
Oh, man, it was great, man. Working with Skandar Akbar and Chris Adams and Hart and a bunch of other people, man. And Bradshaw was there.
Right.
It was great. The Global Federation was what everybody went to get their start, man.
Okay. So it was kind of like a developmental thing, would you say?
Yeah, anybody in professional wrestling came through Global.
Okay. And how long were you there for in Global?
Maybe about 2 years. I got in a match with Michael Hayes and the Freebirds.
Oh, there we go. Michael Hayes.
And once we got done with the match, Michael Hayes told me, you know what, brother? He said, you need to be in the WWF. He said, I'm going to get you up there. And he did exactly what he said he was going to do, man. He got me up there. So shout out to Michael Hayes.
Shout out to Michael Hayes, bro. Now, was he on his way to the WWF, or was he just visiting from there? How'd that happen?
Yeah, he was on his way back to the WWF.
Yeah. So he said, "I'll bring you in."
And he said He said, "I'm gonna get you up there, man." And he did exactly what he said he was gonna do. It took a little while, but he got me up there.
Okay. And before you went to WWF, you were in NWA for a little bit of a run, and Japan, right?
Right. I went to Japan, and NWA was after all that. Went to NWA once I was in WWF.
Okay.
I had a match where I beat Jerry Lawler for the belt and became NWA champion.
Okay.
And that was after Japan and Global.
Awesome. Tell me about the call. When did you find out you're actually heading to the big leagues, the World Wrestling Federation?
It was a call out the blue, man. I remember sitting home one day, my phone rung. I picked the phone up, and the guy said, "Hey, this is Tony Norris." And I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Well, this is Vince McMahon." And I thought somebody was playing a ha-ha on me.
So Vince called you himself?
Yeah, Vince called me personally himself.
Wow.
And I didn't believe it was Vince. Mm-hmm. So I was like real rude to him, man. I was like, "Yeah, whatever, yeah, okay." And he said, "Well, I have a ticket at your door tomorrow morning." And just like he said, man, the next day there was UPS at the door with the ticket.
Wow. So he flew you. Where'd he fly you?
Into Stamford, Connecticut.
Okay, right to the office, to the building.
Yes.
Oh man, that's awesome. So tell me about that. So first of all, you had to leave the next day, right?
I had to leave the next day.
Wow. Tell me about that trip. First of all, did you dress up in a suit? What'd you look like before you go to see Vince McMahon?
I just had on some blue jeans and a muscle shirt, and
that's it.
Basically I didn't dress him in a suit or anything.
My man came in like this, Ahmed.
Almost.
Without the belt. Came in like that. Now the muscle shirt is smart because that's what Vince loved, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you walk in.
Muscles, man.
Step by step, how'd this meeting go with Vince?
It went well. He flew me out, and then he flew me back home, and I told him, I wanted to bring my lawyer out to go over the contract. So I brought the lawyer with me, and Vince ate him up. Ate him up for lunch, man. Yeah, it was a waste of money, waste of time on my part to even bring a lawyer. Because Vince was like, "I'm going to pay what I'm going to pay, and that's it." And but he told me to bring, counsel with me.
Right.
And then I bring counsel with me, and he eats the guy up like a shark, man.
You don't have to give us numbers, but how was the offer? Was it like, "All right, I'm dropping everything now, I'm in"?
Oh yeah, it was definitely, "I'm dropping everything now, I'm in."
Yeah. So you're in the WWF, right? Your first day on the job. Who do you see? Who do you interact with? What was that like for you? I mean, this is a big, big deal. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well,
what was that experience like the first day?
The first day was amazing, man. I just kind of went in there and hung out with Vince and went to the weight room and worked out a little bit. And it was just amazing, man. It really was.
He was showing you around and all that, trying to get a feel for you? Okay.
Show me around the Titan Towers and, got to look at everything. And it was very impressive.
Who were some of the first superstars you got to meet and kind of connect with when you first got there?
Well, when the first one I met was Mark Henry, unfortunately.
Oh, wow.
And I ran into The Rock. But he wasn't The Rock back then. He was just,
Maivia, right? Or was he?
Kid,
Oh, he was just a kid then. Okay.
Yeah.
But wasn't he Rocky Maivia at the time? Or was he?
He was Rocky Maivia, yeah.
Rocky Maivia at the time, yeah. So
and he was up there talking over a contract also.
Oh, interesting. Oh, so he was just getting into the WWF as well. Too. Great. So Mark Henry, you say unfortunately, was it a bad introduction? Tell me why it was unfortunate.
Tell you this story real quick.
Please do.
We went out to he came and got me one day, and we went out to a nightclub,
Was this before you were, or this was after you're in WWF or before?
No, this is right when I got to WWF.
Okay.
And I went to this nightclub, and it was an underground club.
Okay.
And I didn't like the club because it seemed satanic, kind of, And so I went back out to the limousine. Then Mark came out with this crackhead-looking woman. I mean, I'm talking to white lips and everything. She was straight up crackhead. And he sits there, and she gives him the job in the limousine.
Uh-huh.
And then he looks at me and asks me, do I want some? Hell no, I don't want none. Are you kidding me? I mean, this girl was straight up crackhead off the street, man. So that was it for me, and as far as me and him go.
Interesting. Very interesting. So it wasn't the greatest first impression with Mark Henry. Okay.
Not at all.
So we actually have a super chat here from Slapdown. Thank you for the 279. He says, Ahmed, you were a great part of my childhood. Thank you.
Well, thank you, brother. Thank you for being a fan.
We also have 20 from King J. Shawn. My goodness gracious. Thank you, King J. Shawn. Reporting from Tornado Shelter in Dallas. Oh, my goodness. LOL, but glad to finally have service to listen. Great to see Mr. Norris looking healthy. Glad to support this channel. Does Ahmed still have his IC belt from back then? That's a good question. Do you still have that Intercontinental?
Yeah, I still have the Intercontinental belt.
Really?
Which nobody ever beat me for, by the way.
Okay.
It was taken from me during an injury. So, as far as I'm concerned, I'm still the Intercontinental champ.
Amen. We have $1.99 from Ibzan Arroyo. Whatever happened to the Kuwait Cup trophy you won?
Sitting in the living room.
Okay, King. Okay. That's great. So there was a lot of talk at how some of the boys in the back were jealous in the beginning of you because of your immediate push, they would say, because of how you looked. You looked great. You had $1 million body, and you were intense to the point to where Vince had you immediately slam Yokozuna right out the gate.
Brother.
All right, talk to me, King. How did this come about? When did you find out you were slamming Yoko, and did you understand how important that was going to be for your start?
I had no idea how important that was going to be as far as launching me. But I remember in the back, Yoko was, I don't know if he was just a little upset, a little jealous. Everybody was, because like I said, I was green, extremely green. And here I come in off the streets and getting this big push. And so Yoko told me, I hope you can pick me up because I'm not going to jump. And so I was like, okay, I was scared, man. I was like, how am I going to get this dude up in the air? Because then he was weighing like 700 pounds.
Yeah, he was bigger then. Yeah.
And I was like, how am I going to get him up in the air? And Luger did it, but Luger did it when he was only like 500 something pounds. So he said he wasn't going to jump. So, man, I just closed my eyes and gripped my teeth and lift him up as far as I could take him, man, and then dumped him, to a slam.
What was it like after the slam? First of all, the crowd went nuts. Yeah. Because you slammed him a few times. Yeah. I believe you did it twice during Survivor Series, but that first initial slam, the crowd went insane.
They went berserk.
Now, you and Yoko, what was the relationship like with you guys? I'm sure it was rough in the beginning, wasn't it?
Oh, it was rough with everybody in the beginning, like I said, because here you got this greenhorn coming off the streets and getting this big push. So, I mean, none of the boys appreciated that, Yeah. Which I don't blame them. I understand now that I've been in the business for a while, I understand why they were so upset and jealous about it.
Right.
But later on, me and Yoko had a very good relationship, man. After that, we had a few words one time, and after that, we had a very good relationship, man.
Did you guys stay in touch throughout your run there, and did you guys hang out? Did you drive together, or was it just?
Yeah, we rode together up and down the road a few times. Me, him, Rikishi, and Sabio Vega.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Yeah, and we rode up and down the road a few times together.
Fantastic. Yoko was a legend and one of the best big men to ever do it.
Yes, he was.
Peace. Rest in peace to Yokozuna, man.
Yes, he was.
Rest in peace. You have a feud with Mr. Jeff Jarrett, Double J.
Yeah.
Double J. How did that go for you? Tell me about working with Double J.
Well, the time he hit me with that guitar, I don't know if you remember that guitar shot I took.
Mm-hmm. There it is.
I mean, he laid it in there, man. And I don't know if he used right wood or what, but when he rung it in there, it rung my bell. And I was kind of upset about that for a while. So, me and Jeff Jarrett didn't get along all that good.
He was on his podcast recently. He mentioned working with you when you were green. He said, and these were his words. Now I'm not quoting him word for word, but he basically said he had $1 million body. He was intense, but he was very, very green.
Yes, that's true.
And he didn't understand how to transition. And I think that's why he might not have liked working with you in the beginning, but
right
now hindsight's 2020. He understood the position you were in, and he did say that, man, you did look the part, and he understood why Vince was pushing you. So
right, I think Vince pushed me because of my intensity. I mean, even today it hasn't been matched. I mean, he's tried to get people in there like Ezekiel Jackson and other people in there trying to be the new Ahmed, but that intensity, man, is just something that I was born with, brother. That's come from years of pain,
Yeah. I mean, you scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, that's not something you can fake, man. It's either you got intensity like that or you don't have it.
It was also when you would jump on that ring and you jump over the rope. That was that little exclamation point, like, I'm here to kick your ass.
Yes, sir.
And it's gonna be stiff as fuck, and you're gonna deal with it. That's what I saw. So I was scared for anyone that went. Would you consider yourself a stiff guy?
I don't think I was, man. I mean, my punches and stuff were pretty light. Hogan told me one time after we got done with like a battle royal. He told me one time that he said, brother, when you got in the ring with me, he said I was fearing you. He said, but your punches were some of the lightest punches I ever took, and that's coming from Hulk Hogan.
Interesting. Because then we have this guy here. I don't know if you're familiar with him, Ahmed, but I'm sure he looks familiar. This fucking gimmick, my God.
I think I can remember that. The 19 Viking football helmet on.
Let me tell you something. Now, when he debuted, when you were with Shawn Michaels, and you guys were facing the Smoking Guns for the tag team championships. And this guy comes out, and man, he kicks the shit out of your kidney right here.
Yes, sir.
Was this what caused the injury? This kick?
Yes, sir. That's what caused the injury. That's why later on I paid him back when I took him through the table with that street fight we had with the Road Warriors.
Yeah.
And it kind of broke his ribs. It was just a receipt for what he gave me.
Did he do that on purpose?
Yeah, I think he did. I think he was also jealous, and upset because here he was the first black champion in WCW. And then here I was becoming the first Intercontinental black champion in WWF. Mm-hmm. And I think there was some jealousy there. Matter of fact, he said on some interviews that he was jealous.
Right. Interesting. Did you have any interaction with him before the debut?
No, I didn't even see him before that. I didn't even know he was there, honestly, until they, went over the script backstage. I didn't have any idea he was even there.
So he just immediately said, "Fuck this guy! I'm gonna kick him as hard as I can in the kidney."
Yes.
Interesting. Speaking of the Intercontinental Championship, you were the first African-American Intercontinental Champion.
Yes, sir.
That is, tell me about that. That was at King of the Ring 96. Tell me about that experience, man. When did you find out you were going to win the title, and what does that still mean to you to this day?
It still means the world to me, becoming the first black single champion in history with the WWF. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that means the world to me, and it was just a special moment, man. It was a special moment. And once again, then that rubbed a bunch of the guys the wrong way, because here this rookie was coming in and getting a belt already. You know,
Right.
and some guys had been there 10, 14 years, you know,
Right.
and they didn't get out at the belt. So there was a lot of jealousy, and still is a lot of jealousy.
Dustin Rhodes, how was he to work with? I mean, Gold Dust, of course, Gold Dust, the character, and you got the little smooch on live TV, right? Did you guys practice that, or what happened there? First of
Brother,
all,
we practiced that backstage, and Dustin was supposed to put his hand over my mouth and kiss his hand, but he knew it was live TV, and there was nothing I could do about it. So he did the lip to lip for real, and I'm like, "You son of a gun! I'm gonna kill you when I get up." And so yeah, he did that for real. But man, he was a hoot to work with, man. It was nice working with him.
you have there you are with the Intercontinental Championship, a stud, absolute stud. So at the time when you won the Intercontinental title, Shawn Michaels was the World Wrestling Federation champion. And of course, we all know when you win that Intercontinental Championship, you are next in line for the World Championship.
Yes, sir.
What was the vibe backstage after winning that title? What was the feel with, I would say, they were together then. It was Scott Hall, Shawn Michaels, Kevin Nash.
Right.
Did they kind of welcome you? Did they help you out, or were they standoffish? What was that like?
No, the only person that really helped me out, man, was Razor Ramon. Razor Ramon would watch backstage my matches, and when I got done and I came out, he would critique my matches for me and tell me what looked good and what didn't look good. But the rest of them, no. One day, Shawn called me into a little office, and he was like, "Ahmed, you got to stop doing all this high flying stuff, because when you do it at 350 pounds, then I come out and do it. It doesn't look like, I'm doing anything because you just did it." So he didn't like me diving over the top rope and doing all the stuff. I kept doing it, but he didn't appreciate that at all.
Because it kind of took the shine off of him doing those high flying moves, is what you said?
Right. Because I was doing it at 350 pounds, and then he was doing them also, and if a 350 pound guy can do it, I guess it made him look bad
Okay.
to him.
Yeah.
But I didn't care. I kept doing them.
It's interesting that Razor, or rest in peace to Scott Hall, he would pull you aside, and was it him by himself? Just pull
Yeah,
you alone?
it was just Razor by himself, man. He would critique my matches, and man, and I appreciated that so much about him, man.
Man, rest in peace. What a legend there. Uh-huh.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. What's interesting? After you won the IC title, something happened to your car. Right? It was keyed.
Right.
Because I remember you talking about it. And who do you think did that?
Well, I didn't know who did it, honestly.
Okay.
But I was told that Steve Austin did it, but Steve said he didn't do it. So I have no idea who did it, man. I really don't know.
So you originally thought it was Stone Cold.
Right.
And he's since denied that?
Yes, he said he didn't do it.
Okay.
So I have no idea who would do it, man, unless it was Shawn Michaels.
Interesting.
Which I wouldn't put it past him.
But that's crazy that you never found out to this day who. I mean,
Nope.
It could have been a fan. Who knows?
Still don't know to this day.
Wow. You're in line for the world title. You're supposed to face the world champion, and then the kidney injury, which you said is from that kick
Right.
by Farooq. How did that's how much did that set you back mentally? And what was that process for recovery?
For recovery, it set me back a little ways, man. I mean, it messed my shot up at the world title with Shawn, which I heard I was going to get the belt then. But it really set me back, man. He really threw my career off track when he did that, man.
To this day, have you talked to Farooq or mended fences with him or anything?
No, I haven't spoke to him up to this day.
So he's one of those that you don't see any light at the end of the tunnel there.
No, not really.
Wow.
Not really.
You
so
then
our feud. I mean, we worked together great, but our feud was a little more than people knew it was.
Tell me more. What do you mean?
What I mean is his jealousy and, it made our matches somewhat of an inconvenience. I mean, we worked together well, but it really kind of messed up our chemistry.
I got you. Because there was that weight on you about the real heat, which kind of, didn't really make it 100% comfortable for you to work with him.
Right.
Okay. Well, you returned in 96 and feuded with Farooq in the Nation of Domination. And of course you had the street fight with the Legion of Doom. Shout out to these legends, Hawk and Animal. There was an interview with Animal where he claimed that you, these spikes that they let you use, you stole them.
Right.
Is that true, Ahmed? What's the deal with the spikes?
The spike was Hawk gave them to me. And first of all, if you know Hawk, you ain't going to take nothing from Hawk, brother, without a fist fight. Now, if I would have stolen spikes, we would have been fist fighting because Hawk wasn't going to let you get away with it.
Right.
And so Animal, I don't know where he got that piece of crap from.
That's interesting, man. Do you, that kind of make you look at him differently?
Yeah, it did, man. It really did. I mean, not Hawk. Hawk was Hawk no matter what. I mean, he was always cool, man. We did some independent shows together, me and him. And I think Animal got a little jealous of that Hawk was taking me on some of these shows with him.
I see. We have another super chat from Slapdown. Also wanted to say I was very upset you and Shawn never won the tag titles. Today wrestlers need to hit the gym more. Ahmed 2024 Hall of Fame. I agree. Christopher with the $5 says, did Vince actually take Ahmed out of the Nation of Domination because he said, Ahmed, no one will believe anyone can beat you guys?
Yes, he did. Exactly. He called all of us to the office. Once I got with the Nation, he called all of us to the office and he told me, Ahmed, I'm going to take you back out the Nation. And I'm like, I just got in the Nation. I just made all the fans turn on me. I just got in the Nation. And I was kind of upset because I was like, how am I going to win my fans back? And so he said, well, see, the problem is nobody can believe that you guys can be beat. And, once I took a look at the tape, man, and seeing me, Farooq, Mark Henry, D-Lo, Mustafa walking down there, I can understand why he said what he said.
Look at this photo. That is some mean motherfuckers right there, man. That is some mean meat right there. So I can see why Vince was like, you know what? These guys are unbeatable right now. There is the Nation of Domination. What? When he told you were going to go to the Nation, what was your reaction, Ahmed? Were you happy about it? Were you digging it? What was the deal there?
Well, I knew that it was going to be a dynamic team. And I kind of thought like Vince thought. I was like, who are you going to make believe that we can be beat
Right.
with a powerhouse like that?
Because you were super over then. I mean,
yeah,
you were blazing. Were you kind of upset that you had to go heel, or were you kind of
I
like,
was. Yes,
really?
I was. But you know what? The fans, once they turned me back, the fans took back to me like water. I mean, it wasn't a delay in them, liking me, and I had to build it back up or anything. It was, the fans just right back with the program,
Yeah. I mean, you guys were definitely badass, man. Unbelievable. Now, The Rock. Okay, because as we all know, the Nation thing didn't last too long, which surprised me.
Right.
It was like a revolving door with you and the Nation. And The Rock becomes The Rock. Did you get along with The Rock during this time?
Well, he was part of that Nation group, and like I said, there was a lot of jealousy with them and me. Becoming the first African American champion in WWF, there was a lot of jealousy between them and me. So, I mean, we were cordial, but I mean, it's not like we went out and had tea or anything.
Yeah. You guys got along, though. Did you ever get any backstage heat or anything like that?
One time in the locker room, me and Rock got into an argument. This is where D'Lo claimed he got me in a full Nelson. And I guess for some reason, the full Nelson must have been a fight because he said it was a fight. But I don't know where all that came from, where he got the full Nelson from, where he got the backroom fight from, but that never happened.
What was the fight over between you and The Rock?
Well, we were arguing over basically our finish and, who was going to do what in the ring.
Okay.
Because back then he wasn't a Rock. He was Rocky Maivia becoming The Rock. But it was basically, him not wanting to take my finish, me not wanting to take his finish. It was kind of a back and forth argument from there.
We have a super chat from Ibzon. Do you get mad like me when online fans say you were never over, which isn't true? Even later when you came back after leaving the Nation, fans still cheered.
Do I get upset?
Yeah.
You're going to have keyboard fans no matter where you go. You're going to have them keyboard warriors who are going to, talk their trash.
That's true.
And no, I don't have a problem with that, man. If they want to talk, let them talk,
Yeah.
Like Ice Cube said, let a hoe be a hoe.
Speak, King. Speak. The King. Jim Ross was talking about your run in the WWF. I have a question. I need to get a confirmation from you, Ahmed. Okay.
Okay.
Now, Jim Ross said you had some of the biggest triceps in the game.
Right.
You had $1 million. Everyone says $1 million body. But he heard that the triceps were implants. Is that true? Were your triceps implants, Ahmed?
Oh my God, brother. That is the most stupidest shit I ever heard in my life. My tricep were implants.
I swear to God, he said it word for with Mr. JR, Jim Ross.
Oh, man.
So I'm guessing.
Like his fat belly was an implant.
Oh, there you go. So I'm guessing that's a no.
No, brother. There was an implant. I didn't even know they make tricep implants back then. Jesus Christ.
That's what he said, man. JB4117 says, Ahmed Johnson seems like a cool dude. He is, man. He's a real cool dude.
Thank you, brother.
Fight with D'Lo. You mentioned that, where D'Lo claims that he stretched you. So none of that happened with D'Lo.
Brother, that didn't happen at all. What is your definition of stretching mean?
That's the word he said. I stretched him. And I'm not even sure what that means.
I don't even know what it means either.
Is that some lingo?
Being the person that you are and being the interviewer you are, if D'Lo Brown had stretched me out, everybody in the locker room would have been talking about it. And so far, you can't get anybody to talk about it but him and Mark Henry.
That's it, right?
And I'm like, Jesus Christ, when did this happen? And why wasn't anybody else there to see him stretch me? Oh, Jesus Christ.
So we got no to the implants and no to the stretching. We got confirmation from Ahmed.
No, my arms are still huge, man. My arms are still huge.
No implants. No implants. I don't see any scars there, man. I think you're good.
No scars.
They said stretching means beat up. Let me see.
No scars.
No scars. It means beat up. I thought stretching means like a submission hold or something like that. That's what I thought it meant. Stretching means beat up?
Well, I take it that it meant beat up.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't even know what this was.
You beat somebody up and they don't come out with a scar anywhere. And he definitely would have had some scars. And he didn't come out with any scars. So where he stretched me at, I have no idea.
Did you get along with any of these guys in the nation? What about Kama, the Godfather? Did you get along with him?
Brother, it was the black thing where they were jealous that I became the first black Intercontinental Champion. And they were very jealous and still is to today.
Wow.
And it's sad. It really is.
Yeah. You have I do have a question too. A lot of people are asking why you don't do any like appearances in WrestleCon events or autographs. Is it something that you just don't want to do, or you've just disconnected from the wrestling business, or maybe in the future you want to do it? What's the status on that?
Well, no, I had back surgery, so I'm just now getting started back in it. Matter of fact, I got one on the 10th and the 11th and 12th in New York and New Jersey. So I'm just getting back. This will be my first time back out in the public since my career. So I'm bringing it back up and I'm getting back out. So hopefully I'll be coming to a town near you real soon.
Good for you, man. Good for you. Do you still talk to Booker T and Stevie Ray to this day?
No, we kind of lost contact, man.
Haven't spoken to him since. Wow.
No, I never really did talk Booker T. We really, never hit it off together as far as friends or anything goes. But Steve Ray, I haven't spoke to him in a good while, man.
Yeah. After your WWF run, because it kind of came to a screeching halt with the second injury. It was your knee, correct?
Right.
You did a little bit of a run in '99 as Big T in WCW. And it was for a few months. What was that quick experience like? What did you learn about WCW compared to WWF at that time?
Well, the thing that I learned about WCW, first of all, when I went to WCW, I really didn't want to go because I wasn't in shape. I mean, I had been sitting at home eating bonbons and getting big. And Stevie really needed a tag team partner, and he wanted somebody he could trust. So he called me in, and first I told him no, but then Vince Russo gave me a call, and I, told him, yeah, I would do it. But the thing about WCW and WWF was the guys at WCW, you can't get one guy to complain that I was stiff or I hit him too hard or slammed him too hard. But WWF, you got, all these guys crying that, Ahmed Johnson was stiff, he was hurting us. But WCW, not one guy ever said that.
So you're saying that, do you think that the guys in WCW were tougher?
They were either tougher or there was a lie told somewhere.
Mm.
I mean, how could you go to one federation? In WCW, I wasn't in shape, so I probably did stiff some people.
Right.
But how did you go from one organization to another and you got all the guys complaining, but in WCW, you didn't have one guy complaining about ever being stiffed by me.
Yeah, and you know
Even
what?
Hogan.
It could go back to the jealousy in the back at WWF.
Exactly.
People were upset. I mean, you did get pushed pretty quickly to the IC title, so you can understand where they're coming from. But, Vince, I mean, it worked. The people loved it.
I mean, people loved the intensity that I had. They knew that it wasn't fake and something you couldn't buy.
Right.
And like I said, Vince had brought many people in trying to get that intensity back, but that was part of the Attitude Era, was my attitude.
Who is the closest to Ahmed Johnson since you've left? Is there anyone that's close or could be an Ahmed Johnson as far as look, intensity? Who do you look for in the next Ahmed Johnson?
I would say the person that brings the most intensity right now is Brock Lesnar.
Oh,
He had that intensity.
he's a monster.
Yeah. Brock Lesnar brings that intensity to the ring when he comes every time. And of course, they're complaining about him, saying he's too stiff and, he works too hard. And, I guess sometimes intensity can't take over. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm not saying I didn't stiff some people, but hey, like the match with me and Vader. Me and Vader, it was a shoot match from the word go. Because Vader told me in the locker room, he said, brother, when we go out here, he said, I'm going to really hit you. And he said, I don't mind if you hit me back. That was his exact words.
Really?
When we got in the ring, I thought he was, pulling my leg. And no, he really threw them shots in there, man. He wasn't playing. So, that's the way he wanted it. That's the way we did it. But when we got done, we went to the back and hugged each other and was cool with it and everything else.
People are asking, where in New Jersey are you going to be at your appearance?
I'm not sure where it's going to be, but I'll make sure I get somebody and put it on the Facebook for you.
Everybody follow Ahmed or Tony. It's under his real name, Tony Norris, on Facebook. You can follow him there, and he'll be posting all of his appearances, upcoming autograph sessions, what have you, on the Facebook page.
Yes, sir.
Somebody asking, they want to see, do you have the Intercontinental title with you? They want to see that. Do you have that on you at this time?
No, I got it kind of in a bag in the back.
He's got that stored away.
Yeah.
All right. We have, let's see. We have Cameron here. Mark Henry claimed you kicked Farooq in the liver and put him out for 9 months. That wasn't a kick in the liver I did Farooq. That's when I slammed him through the table, which was a receipt for him kicking me in my kidney and rupturing my kidney. So yeah, what I did was I picked him up and slammed him through the table pretty hard, and that was just a receipt for what he did to me. Adam asks, Ahmed, what is your favorite match in your WWF run?
My favorite match was one I was just talking about with Vader, man. Because it was a shoot match, and it was a hell of a match, man.
Rest in peace to Vader, man.
Yes.
You got to work with some legends, man.
Yes, sir.
You really did. You are blessed, my man. Blessed.
Yes, sir.
Blessed. Unbelievable career. Now, we know it was short. We know it was quick. But personally, I think you deserve a Hall of Fame spot because of what you did for WWF, becoming the first African-American Intercontinental Champion.
Yes, sir.
That automatically deserves Hall of Fame status. What is your outlook on if they were to call you? First of all, do you think you should be in the Hall of Fame? And what would you do if they called you to be in it? How would you react?
Oh, yes, sir. Definitely been the first African-American single champion in history. I definitely deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. But, Vince is a little upset with me because of the way I exited. But, hey, it is what it is.
I do want to touch on that. When you left, it was under circumstances that when you tell people, it's like, oh my God, your sister was dying at the time due to cancer. And you just literally walked out just to be with her, which is understandable. But why didn't you go to Vince? Why didn't you explain it to him? What was going on in your mind at that moment?
I don't know. I went to Vince and we talked about it a little bit, and he kind of gave me an option that I wasn't gonna, abide by. So I just went to the back, packed my bag, and I left.
Oh, so you did speak with him? before
A
leaving?
little bit.
Okay.
I was the kind of person, and I'm just that kind of person where I keep my problems to myself.
Yeah, that's
I don't
understandable.
let the other people in on, what's going on with me.
It's understandable because of the way you grew up too.
Right. So I never went to Vince and complained about anybody in the ring or this, that, and the other. If it was a problem, I handle it.
Ahmed, when you look back on your career, right, is there anything that you regret?
I regret leaving the way I did, early as I did. I do regret that, man, because, there were a lot of fans that wanted me back and still today wants me back.
Mm-hmm.
But I do regret, leaving my fans hanging like I did, and leaving the way I did. I regret that.
Right. We have one more question before we head out of here. First of all, Ahmed, thank you so much.
Thank you, brother,
for being with me here. This is from we got two more. From Mike D. Thoughts on Viscera when he passed?
Oh, it was a sad moment, man. I used to talk to him all the time, and it's a sad moment, man.
And Mr. Matthew Marabito, Shawn Michaels or Bret Hart? Whose side are you on?
Bret Hart.
There you go. You heard it. You heard it.
I'm a Hitman fan.
That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Pounding the Meat with me and the Pearl River Powerhouse, Tony Norris, Ahmed Johnson. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to Hannibal TV, Pounding the Meat on YouTube. I appreciate the engagement and the viewership. And Ahmed, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
You too, man.
Y'all be safe.
On Facebook.
Hit up Tony Norris on Facebook, man. Get that action figure. Keep an eye out when he's doing those autograph signings and appearances. And until then, we will see you next week. Good night, everybody. Peace.